Pets Go. You know this game. Many know this game. It was made by Big Games, which is one of the biggest Roblox studios. Like actually one of the biggest studios. Their group has the most members out of all groups in Roblox. So, as the video's name and thumbnail suggests, Pets Go is slowly dying, and has been for some time already. A month ago, I made a video about Pets Go when it hit the lowest player count ever, going below 20,000 of players. And yes, it did go back up after that, but there is a reason as to what happened there. You see, that day a bot ban wave was happening, and since it wasn't safe for bot farmers to keep their bots online, most of them decided to stop using the bots for a bit. Later on, we can see that the player count went up again. But if we actually compare it to what it was before the drop happened, you can still see a pretty big difference. So basically, the game is not feeling good at all lately, but why do so many people quit it? I suggest we go back to the beginning. And the story of Pets Go actually begins before the game even existed. Pet Simulator 99 once had the RNG event, and it did so good that even people who didn't play Pet Simulator decided to try and grind it. And Preston, who's the owner of Big Games, seeing the success of the event, was wondering, what if they made a separate game like that since people liked the event? So on Twitter, or X, whatever you want to call it, he made a post where people had to vote if they wanted a standalone game based of Pet Simulator 99's RNG event. It would be way more in-depth and have a separate economy. Most of the people were excited to see a game like that, seeing how good the RNG event was. So as you can see, the poll ended up with 60% of people voting positively. It took Big Games just 2 months to fully create the game after the poll, and on the 11th of October, Pets Go released. But before that, there was a teaser which came out about 2 weeks before the release of the game. Just to really show how hyped people were about the game, the teaser has the most views on the channel, with even Pet Simulator X trailer having nearly 2 times less views, which used to be the most viewed video on their channel. And when the game released, you could definitely see that many people were hyped for it, with the first update getting its average concurrent player count through the entire day up to 270,000. Those are really big numbers. And remember, the amount of bots was way lower back then. And there was a reason as to why so many people played the game when it came out. It actually was fun to play. I played the game when it just released, and the reason it was more fun is because the rare pets were actually rare, and nobody had tens of thousands of items. But most importantly, just like with any new game that comes out, it just felt like something new, a fresh breath of air, you know. Then we got the first update, and everyone liked it because it added many new things to the game while also not being too pay to win. It did introduce Forever Pack, but it really wasn't that good yet. And then we get to the second update, and that's where the downfall of the game begins. Halloween update introduced us to the new game passes called Double and Triple Dice Game Passes, while also adding us the God Potion. God Potion was obtainable through Forever Pack, and if you had a Triple Dice Game Pass, it would affect all 3 rolls on the same time, giving pay-to-win players an insane advantage. And I'm not even overestimating it. With the help of a God Potion and Triple Dice Game Pass, you could get 3 huge pets just like that, and you were almost guaranteed to get at least 1 huge pet hatched. So suddenly pay-to-win players could get huge pets much easier, while also not having to pay as much as before. And then they said triple isn't enough, let's do a Pentadice Game Pass right in the next update after Halloween event. But there was a catch. God Potions were actually getting silently nerfed. And well, you probably know that one post Preston made about silent changes before. But in this case, a Robux item was getting silently nerfed, and the only way to find out about the nerf was to use the God Potions. Not exactly the best way of finding out that your items you spent money on were suddenly nerfed. So, with more updates, the game received more game passes. We got a huge Hunter Game Pass to make it even easier to get huge pets. Then, later on, the Celestial Luck Game Pass. And as if all of this wasn't enough, came out that one update that added 2 pretty overpowered game passes. The Diamond Printer, which would give diamonds every time you roll pets. And finally, the Dozen Dice Game Pass. All of these game passes came out in the first 2 months of the game, pretty much. which pretty quickly turned the game from being pay to win to extremely pay to win, and that did not play out well for the player count, as you could see it dropping with these updates. But pay to win is definitely not the only thing that caused players to quit. It played its role, but there was something else. The updates themselves caused people to quit, and that is because the updates became too repetitive. Every new update at one point was just a copy-paste of one of the past updates, and they didn't even try to make it different in some cases. Here's few examples. The thieving update was a copy-paste of mining update. You do the exact same thing, but with a different tool in your hand pretty much, and it was just worse overall. The Sphinx board event is just Valentine's board event, but yet again, worse. And even the current update, which is the Easter event, is just a copy-paste of a recent Pinata update. The updates just do not give the feeling of something new. It's as if you play the exact same thing you have played before, but it just was downgraded. I feel like anyone who at least joined these updates would know what I'm talking about, and of course if the updates are just copy-pastes, the players won't really be interested in them, and therefore the player count goes down. And since I mentioned player count, let's talk about it. Right now, after the Easter event came out in Pets Go, the player count is barely 40,000, and I think we all know that Pets Go has a lot of bots. But how many exactly? Back in January, there was a test which showed that Pets Go had 87.5% of players being bots or alt accounts. And since then, the way servers look actually barely changed. You can still barely find any servers without bots, which makes me think that at least 80% of the players could just be the bots. And if that is true, then that would mean the game doesn't even have 10,000s of real players as of when this video is out. Just to compare it with something else, Pet Simulator 99 used to have just as many bots before, but if you take a look on the servers there right now, you'll see that at least half of the servers are without bots now. All of this means that while Pet Simulator managed to reduce the percent of bots, Pets Go stayed just as botted. So the game have been losing players and is clearly not surviving for long. Does that mean it will be discontinued soon? I do have a feeling it will be worked on in the next 3 months with how badly it performs now. Keep in mind, over half of the players aren't even players but bots, which do not really help the game to make more money. My theory is that Pets Go was never meant to be an actual long-living game. Just think about it. Big Games made this game super pay to win pretty much right away after releasing it, and now clearly they are not putting any effort into the game's updates. Comparing Pet Simulator updates to Pets Go updates, you can see that Pet Simulator gets more things for its updates. I do feel like we might see a spin-off game again in the future, which could also end up just like Pets Go, since it's not the main series of Pet Simulator games. So what can I say? Pets Go has been dying, and I feel like it has never been so close to being discontinued now, with how little of actual people play it, and with how little effort it feels like the updates are made. And let's not forget how pay-to-win they made this game. Basically, everything in this game is not exactly something an average player would enjoy. And with that, make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. I would really appreciate that. You can watch one of these videos while waiting for a new one. They are good too. Join my Discord server. You can chat with me and other members. The link is in description, and I will see you soon.